Easy open cover with a modular mate square 2. Write this down. Inside, you want index dividers, I guess they're called. The first set you want is the months of the year, January through December. The second set, okay, let me show you what that looks like. Okay, the second set is A through Z. That's your alphabet. You're like, I know that. Anyhow, so your alphabet. And then the third set that you want is literally, let me try to pull them out, not mess them up, are numbered 1 through 31. So you want all 3 divided, except divided hickeys. I say hickey a lot. All right, the next thing that you need is you want to get some index cards. An index card. Okay. Now, this little jewel has to become your very best friend. All right. And I know many of you are like, oh, I have them on my digital phone. I can pull up my Excel spreadsheet. But I'm going to tell you, having something in your hand, being able to write on it, pull it out, flip it really fast, taking it with you. If the electric goes off, no worries, right? This is really helpful. This built my business. And many times my Bill would say, hey, let's go for a ride on Sunday. And I'm thinking, what? I want to stay home and work, right? But when Bill would say stuff, nice stuff like that, there, I'll say it's nice stuff. What I do is I would take my lead generation box and I go, okay, I'm ready to go. And we'd be in the car a couple minutes and then I'd pull out my lead box and I'd say, I'm just going to make a few phone calls while we drive, right? And I could make these and then I was happy. He didn't care because he wasn't going to talk anyhow. He was just going to drive after a while, right? And I could take this. Or Angela, my little, Angela was a dancer and we constantly had, what are those called?
Dance classes?
Recitals and shows and events like that, and some are practices. But I could take this with me and go with me and make phone calls and not being like, oh wait, let me look at my phone and call that person. So here's the way it basically works. When you meet somebody, and this is crucial, if you're doing vendor events or whatever, I wouldn't sell at them. I'd collect leads, right? Because so you sell a product or two. So what? You get a good lead, 6 months, you beat Gloria Jean, you get an Inky Dean, bam, right? So when you meet somebody, what you want to do is fill out some sort of index card about them. So let's say you're doing the Strawberry Festival and you meet, here's somebody, Judith Crown. So I have her name and address on here, and I don't know if you always need the addresses, but it's on here. And I have her phone number, and then I have dates about her. I have that she purchased a $35 impression set. She was middle-aged, so she was a little older than me. Let's see. She loved the product flat out. She's nice. She doesn't want to do a party. So I just made notes about her. All right. So here Judith is, and I say to her, you know, can I follow up with you? And if she's like, yeah, I mean, I said, well, if something goes on sale, or I'll just touch base with you. I would take this card and I would just literally put it in the C's, because she didn't say, call me back tomorrow, right? So I would put it in her last name. Now, if Judith said, hey, I can't talk very long, my family's waiting, and I say, well, hey, can I follow up with you tomorrow, or then what's today? Wednesday, maybe Friday or Saturday? And she said, yeah, I just have to go. What would I do with this? Right? I would put it in the 23rd. I had to look and see what date it is. I would put it in the number 23. Right? Because on the 23rd, I'd want to call her. If she goes, well, you know what, girl, I'm so busy. I can't do that. And I'd say, well, I'll call you in a month or so. Where would I put this? June, right? Or if we're at the end of May, I'd probably put it in July. So now what happens is you're constantly meeting people. This isn't for your party. This is literally when you're meeting people at vendor events, just pop-ups, things of that sort. So you end up having a file box filled with leads. So when you go to work your day, So today is Wednesday, the 22nd. Is it the 20? No, it's, yeah. Oh,
22nd.
I thought it was the 21st, but anyhow, whatever day it is. So I wake up, I'm ready to work. I'm going to go into the 22nd, and under the 22nd, I'm going to pull out that lead that's in there. So I have Rachel, and Rachel, I sent her a catalog 2 months ago, and or excuse me, a week ago, and so now I need to follow up with her. So I'm going to call Rachel and say, Rachel, it's Judi Daughtery. When we talked, and I have the date, you asked me to follow up by sending you a catalog in the mail. Did you get it? Right? What did you see? Did you see anything that you go, oh my gosh, my mom had this, or I own this, or I used to have that? And you create the conversation. So this file box is constantly working for you for today. So if I use up all my 20 seconds, the 22nd, I now go to May. Is there anybody in May I haven't called? And if I run out of my Mays, I go into the alphabet, and I look through those to see somebody that said, call me in a year or two, right? So you literally always have the opportunity of having people to call. You can't say, I don't have anybody to ask, anybody to call. And the only time you would throw a card away is if they say, you know what, Judi, I am not interested in Tupperware. And I say, well, can I follow back up with you in a couple months? And they go, no. You know what I do? I go, okay, well, thank you. And then when I get off the phone, I'm like, rip, rip, rip. And I rip it up with pride, and I'm happy about it, right? Because I don't want to waste my time calling her if she is adamant about no. So I love this. And I think it goes to show you, Gloria Jean Lee, she called Inky 6 months in a row. She couldn't have done that if she was not organized, right? And she didn't remember who Inky was. We meet so many people, it's hard to go, oh, who is she? So like here's, this is just in my May. Anne I met in a show. She left early. She's friends with Paula Smith. All of that means something to me. Here is Paula Smith. Paula says she has 3 children, husband travels. So when I call Paula and I can go, well, first of all, how are your little kids? I think you have 3, right? And she's like, yes. She thinks I remember all that. Ask Sarah. I don't remember anything. So how many of you think that's helpful?
That is amazing. So
You like that?